Hello everybody and welcome back to the Xcess podcast here on YouTube. It has been about 3 weeks since I recorded the last one with a good friend, DX Don Mega. The reason why there hasn't been an Xcess podcast in that time is because, quite frankly, especially nowadays, usually around WrestleMania season, there's more speculation going around than legitimate news. But we did get a lot of legitimate news items going into this weekend. And at the time I'm recording this, the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view will be tonight, and the WWE Network launches in less than 23 hours, which is going to be a fun time to be a wrestling fan. But anyways, before we begin, I want to quickly mention that we lost another wrestler this week. Nelson Frasier Jr., also known as Mabel, Viscera, and Big Daddy V, passed away at his home, I believe, due to a heart attack. His wife, I think on Facebook, released a statement saying that basically the weight that he was a big man, the weight that he had, basically caught up to him, and he'd been trying to lose weight recently in like the last year, and I think she mentioned that he lost a lot too fast, and it just caught up to him, and it's very unfortunate. God only knows what his family's going through right now, and I give my sincerest condolences to them. This reminds me of William Moody, Paul Bearer passing away. William Moody was a rather heavy man himself, and he got bypass surgery due to WWE, basically around the time after the Great American Bash 2004. He lost a significant amount of weight, I believe over 100 pounds, but he was still rather heavy, and, things caught up to him, but he also passed. Almost a year ago, he passed too, actually, which is rather chilling how time has flown that quickly. But this kind of reminds me of that, although some different situations with losing weight, but, the weight that they had, it, never went away. And that scares me for my own health, because I'm 21, and I'm only 5'7" or 5'8", and I weigh over 250 pounds. That scares me. And now more than ever, I've been thinking of changing the way I live my life as far as health. Because I don't want to deal with that, especially in the future having a family. I don't want them to suffer through losing their husband or father at an age, because Nelson was 43, William Moody was 58. I don't want to do that, I don't want them to go through that. So I've been thinking a lot lately about that. But anyway, let's just move on to another topic. The big news for going into this weekend: Hulk Hogan finally confirmed to return to WWE. He will be at Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, and he will also be on Backstage Pass, the Raw postgame show on the WWE Network. When this was first announced, when it was first leaked that he was coming back, there's been lots of speculation, as I mentioned during the beginning of the show. There's been a lot of speculation that he's going to be returning, it's going to happen there. There's been a lot of quote-unquote confirmed times he's going to be returning. Most recently, the WWE Network announcement from Las Vegas. But he's finally confirmed to return. Earlier in the day, TMZ had an article with him photographed with the NXT staff at the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And he was in his full Hulkamania ring gear. And they said, he's gonna be at Monday Night Raw. He's going to be at WrestleMania. TMZ didn't know his role at WrestleMania. There's been lots of speculation on what his role at WrestleMania would be, but finally, and hours later, WWE issued a press release saying that Hulk Hogan was going to be the guest host of WrestleMania 30. And this is reminiscent of The Rock being the guest host of WrestleMania 27. But who knows how different they will be overall come that night. They'll probably just be the same. Hogan will have a promo to open the show, and he might be involved in the main event. Who knows? Maybe even backstage segments along the way. But this is a really smart move. Hogan is pretty much done wrestling, but to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if he did a leg drop at WrestleMania on somebody. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. But I think as far as actively wrestling, he's done. And, you know, it's perfect for him to be a guest host. A lot of people have been mixed about it due to him being the general manager for TNA before he left. I think they'll be really different. I don't think they'll be similar at all. Especially if there's also rumors that Hogan will end up being the general manager of Raw. You know what, if it happens, so be it, but I think it would be different from when he was the general manager of Impact. Mostly because I don't think Hogan's gonna want to be on the road a lot. He'll probably be like JBL is as the NXT interim general manager, where he shows up every once in a while and does very good stuff when he appears. Don't get me wrong, JBL has done a good job as the NXT general manager, even though he's shown up maybe like 3 times since he was revealed to be such. But I think Hogan would be fine as a general manager with WWE. He's gonna be great as the guest host. And people that don't understand why he is back, I don't get it. I don't get why people don't understand why he's back to be the guest host of WrestleMania. The 30th WrestleMania, although technically WrestleMania's 30th anniversary is next year, but we won't get into too specifics with all that. That already happened with the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania, that debacle. But Hulk Hogan's back. He'll be on Monday Night Raw, guest host of WrestleMania. Good for Hulk. Okay, and now on to Sting. Lots of speculation with Sting. Apparently, he's ready to go for WWE, but WWE doesn't have anything for him. Kind of like a creative situation of current WWE superstars off the top of my head, Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder, JTG. Creative has nothing for them, but they're not doing anything as far as, like, releasing them, or, in this case with Sting, signing him, because they don't have anything for him. I don't know. I mean, I could see this being just like a thing where WWE's trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. Sting is signed, and he's gonna be at WrestleMania, he's gonna face Undertaker, you know, whatever. But I could also see it being the case where Sting is not signed. You know, only WWE and Sting know. And only they know what their plans are for if he does sign, or if he is signed, rather. So, you know what, if Sting's coming to WWE, I'd say it's about time, although Sting has been adamant in the past of being that one guy that never worked for Vince. Maybe that changed, maybe he knows, maybe he had some type of thinking where he just said to himself, you know, things weren't working out with TNA, I doubt this promotion or that promotion's gonna deal with me, and you know, he's gonna take the Hall of Fame spot. You know, it could be a number of things. And I'm kind of rambling about this now because it's way too early to record this and I don't have any coffee. So, let's just move on to the next topic, the WWE Network. I mentioned earlier that it will be launching tomorrow as of this recording, 9 a.m. And I do believe the first original programming will be airing at that time slot. And it is a sneak preview of WrestleMania Rewind, if I recall correctly, because WWE did release a schedule for the network, and I can look this up really quickly on WWE.com. They released their lineup, and I think... Actually, no. I went to the wrong... So hang on. Oh, here it is. The WWE Network lineup, I do believe it mentions... WrestleMania... Yes, it does. Right there under WrestleMania Rewind, it mentions the sneak preview, and it premieres the next day, although 9 p.m. Eastern instead of 9 a.m. So that's the first original program that's going to be airing, a sneak preview of WrestleMania Rewind. It's probably going to be the same episode they'll air the next day. And also a sneak preview of WWE Countdown, just following that. So, 2 original programs, all in one. Cool. But otherwise, really, actually, there was a new program revealed in their network lineup announcement. Quite a few, actually. This is NXT, a 1-hour special, although they said 1-hour special and then they say series later. And actually, that's premiering right after Countdown, the sneak preview of Countdown. Wow, geez. I should probably get notes prepared more often. But this is NXT. We'll take a look at NXT superstars who look to become future WWE champions and stuff like that, and look at their actions in the Performance Center. They'll get up close and personal. I think this is going to be good. So this is NXT, a new series that was revealed, as well as WWE Beyond the Ring. I think they've done this on their YouTube channel, but this will be a more widespread version of it. They also have Best of Raw and Best of SmackDown, so they will have the best of... This is kind of like their DVDs for the year, but they'll probably also include early years for all this. But otherwise, the network looks great, the lineup is strong, the Hall of Fame is going to be airing in its entirety at 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, April 5th, so this is going to be a good time. And also, one more thing with the WWE Network, the first ever NXT pay-per-view, NXT Arrival, stylized as lowercase AR and capitalized Rival. So, basically, all of the rivalries from NXT will culminate in this massive event. It will be 2 hours long. There will be a pre-show, actually, as well, with Renee Young, and I'm really excited for NXT Arrival. NXT is probably the best wrestling show, hands down, right now. WWE, Triple H, everybody that works at NXT has done a phenomenal job in the last year or so since NXT was rebranded from Florida Championship Wrestling. And that's awesome. The future is definitely bright down in Florida. I shouldn't say down in Florida because I live in Florida, but you know what? The future is bright. There's lots of good matches every week on NXT TV. NXT is going to be airing on the network, and fans that haven't seen the new NXT ever since it was rebranded from Redemption, airing on WWE.com, Hulu. Anyone who hasn't seen NXT since then is definitely missing out. Quality product every single week. Some weeks there has been hits or misses on the show, but most of the time, all home runs. But NXT Arrival, I'm really excited. We have Paige defending the NXT Women's Championship against Emma, who recently debuted on the main roster. She's gonna be involved in a romantic angle with Santino against Fandango and Summer Rae. That might actually lead to a match at the Elimination Chamber tonight. Depends. I think Emma will win here. Paige has been sidelined with an injury, and, she's held the title for quite a while now. The same will go for another title match we're going to mention in a little bit. But I think Emma's going to win the title, and I think this will eventually lead to Paige being on the main roster. Probably not for a little bit, though, because maybe Paige will, quote-unquote, disappear from NXT due to losing the title, and then she'll just pop up on Raw one night, maybe after WrestleMania, you don't know, and she will just clear house of whatever divas are competing. But also, we have I can't say Antonio Cesaro anymore, Cesaro versus Sami Zayn, their rematch. If I look up I don't recall them mentioning it was gonna be a rematch from, I know in the spoilers, since we do live spoilers most of the time, Sami Zayn requested the rematch for the 2 out of 3 falls match. I don't know if it's actually a 2 out of 3 falls match. I haven't watched NXT from this past week, so don't really recall. But regardless, 2 or 3 fall stipulation or not, this is gonna be a match of the night. It was already match of the night when they had the 2 out of 3 falls match last year. These two have such great chemistry, and these guys are gonna steal the show at NXT Arrival. And I absolutely cannot wait for this match. I think this is Sami Zayn's time. Cesaro beat him last time, so Sami Zayn's got to get his revenge. And then moving on to the last confirmed match of the lineup, which is a bit weird, because I don't know what they're going to be planning then, since it's going to be a 2-hour special, what other matches they will put on the card. You gotta figure, since they have 2 title matches, they'll put the NXT Tag Team titles on the line, and some random team will lose to the Ascension. But I don't know what they're gonna do to fill the other hour, since these 3 matches will likely fill at least an hour and 15 minutes. But the main event, I would assume, of the evening, for the NXT Championship, Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville in the first ever ladder match at NXT. The opinion on Bo Dallas being champion for so long has been not really well received. I'm just enjoying Bo's reign. Bo's character, it's amazing how Bo turned the pure hatred from the crowd. And this was all of a sudden, too, when the fans started booing him after he faced Wade Barrett on that Clash of the Champions episode. But the way that the NXT staff has turned that hatred from the crowd, from Bo to being a babyface that nobody liked, to being a heel that everybody despises, and it's actually worked. Bravo to them, and Bo is very entertaining in this heel role who thinks he's loved by everybody. It suits Bo really well, and I think if he ever made it to the main roster again, which I'm sure he will, because he's only like 23, 24 years old, I think that character could work well on TV. Maybe start him out as a babyface, have him win a mid-card title, then turn him into that guy, that heel who thinks he's still a babyface guy. I think it could work on the main roster. Especially because the people at NXT, the crowd cheers for anybody who faces Bo. I mean, come on, they chanted, "Let's go this guy," when he faced an enhancement worker. I mean, Bo has done a great job, but nonetheless, I think it's time he drops the NXT Championship to Adrian Neville. Neville has worked really hard for this moment, and Bo's nearly held the title 300 days. I think by the time NXT Arrival airs, he will have held the title for 260, I want to say, 260 days or 259. So Bo's had a lengthy reign, but I think it's time Adrian Neville picks up the gold. It'll be amazing to see a red arrow off of the ladder onto Bo. If they do that. I don't know how the limitations from the Full Sail Arena, since it's so little, how that would work, but I think they'll manage. But NXT Arrival is going to be great. I'm actually more hyped up for NXT Arrival than Elimination Chamber, but as I said on Twitter, Elimination Chamber should still be a good show. And speaking of Elimination Chamber, I already gave my predictions on Twitter, so you can look at that. Really, the only matches I'm looking forward to tonight are the Shield versus the Wyatt family and the actual Elimination Chamber match. Everything else, meh. But moving on, we actually posted a few videos on our Facebook page, Facebook exclusive videos, with John Cena. He did an interview on Larry King Now, with a popular personality in the entertainment radio type business, Larry King. Cena talked about quite a few things. The 2 things we highlighted in videos on our Facebook page are him discussing why he hasn't turned heel, and one of his WrestleMania dream opponents. And, the heel turn video, very insightful. Cena, love him or hate him as a character, he is the guy for WWE. He's always carried himself proper, and he's always treated things professionally. He is the company go-to guy, and I can understand why WWE continues to force him down people's throats on TV. It's because he does so much for them, and he's the most trusted guy they have. There's also some other guys that they'll have to start trusting, I should say, because Cena probably doesn't have 10 or so years left in him, but you know what? Right now, Cena's doing a good job. And the other one, WrestleMania Dream Opponent, judging by an interview he did around the same time this was released, it makes sense that he mentioned this. It could happen next year, that's all I'll say. You probably can already guess by me talking about it. But, you know what? I'd like to see that WrestleMania match next year. If it happens, it happens. If not, so be it. But I think it would be fun. But anyways, one more piece of news we're going to get to really quickly. Ring of Honor is teaming with New Japan Pro Wrestling. They made the announcement at HonorCon. Their 12th anniversary happened this weekend, and they announced a partnership with New Japan. And that is going to be very exciting for fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling who don't have the chance to go and see them, to actually see them here in the States, facing guys like AJ Styles, Roderick Strong, Mike Bennett, all those guys. It'll be very exciting. I think Okada is one of the people that is going to be in the States for this partnership, and that's very exciting. He's done wonders in Japan, so I think it'll be good for fans of Ring of Honor, and maybe even non-Ring of Honor fans, to go see these guys perform, especially all the possible matches they could have. Exciting times are ahead. But I think that's going to do it for this edition of the Xcess podcast here on YouTube, and I'd like to thank you all for listening. Elimination Chamber tonight, WWE Network tomorrow. Apparently Monday Night Raw tomorrow is going to be stacked. Not only do they have Hulk Hogan, but apparently The Undertaker is also going to be returning. How? Nobody knows right now, but I'm sure whatever they do with Undertaker returning is going to be magnificent like it always is. Maybe we'll actually see a vignette tonight. Who knows? Wait and see. Anyways, thank you all for listening once again to the Xcess podcast here on YouTube. I've been James Rolls. I will see you probably in another 3 weeks after I've completely digested the WWE Network and all of the programming in that time space. So, thanks again for listening. I will see you next time.